Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 5 of the Melee-related podcast, where we focus on pretty much mostly Smash Brothers, and within that, mostly Melee. So there was quite a bit that went on this weekend. It was CEO this weekend, which was really kind of cool to see how that all went down. I feel like it did have some cuts from how quote unquote amazing it was originally going to be, with Leffen dropping out and who was the other high projected seed. It was 7th seed. Okay. Well, anyway, it was expected to be, I think, a lot bigger than it actually seemed to be, but that was kind of okay. It still was really interesting to see how it all went down. It was nice to see that Plup decided to switch to Sheik for grand finals against Hungrybox. I feel like he had a pretty good shot there. One thing that the announcer said that I definitely agree with there was Sheik doesn't have as good of a comeback mechanic to say. So for Fox you can get the super easy up throw up air and kill it 40, whereas Sheik doesn't have as much of that stuff on Hungrybox, so rests are more detrimental and it's a lot harder to get some certain things done. But overall it went kind of how I expected it to. It was there are some things like Gatsu beating S2J and taking a game off Hungrybox that I did not expect. None coming back through loser side. Same thing with KJH making it to 9th. KJH was kind of a big one because he lost to C15 in his very first match and then came back and placed 9th. And so that was really big to see. The longest way beating Pew Pew, Toussaint, that's the notable ones that I can name off the top of my head. C15 also beat Magi, which was kind of amazing, but after that his run just ended. Ginger and Toussaint were two kind of competitors I was looking at for this tournament, and they didn't really perform up to where I thought they'd be, landing at 25th, but they were still pretty good, and I feel like they could have made it, but there were some things that went on and stuff like that. So this next weekend it is the Even Bigger Balc, which I know this is mostly a Project M singles tournament, hosting some of the pretty big names, so Lod, Kais, Malachi. I think Sosa's gonna be there, but there is quite a bit of a melee singles as well with SFAT, S2J, Luna, Hugs, Army, Absent Page. I'm really gonna be looking at Army and Absent Page coming up because Army has been doing really good this year. He's nice climbers player on the come up. I think at this point he might be even past Chudat right now, but Chudat hasn't been attending as many events this year, so we'll have to see. And Absent Page is a really good Fox main who is possibly top 30, and that is another thing I want to talk about, which is the Melee Summer PR is coming up. So I haven't been paying too much attention aside from the top 11, and I have my opinions on those. But I feel this Melee PR is going to be really interesting to look at. It'll be probably one of the first times in a while where it's not just four of the gods of Melee in a row, and I think that will be really interesting to see. So my predictions on what it will be number one. I'd have Hungrybox. I feel like that crown can be taken from him by the end of the year if he doesn't do well at Shine, or if he doesn't do well at SmashCon or Evo or some of the events later in the year. But so far he's had a couple of drops, losing a couple of sets to Plup and losing Genesis 5 and Smash and Splash and stuff like that. But I feel like those won't be enough to completely hurt him, given that he has been doing fairly well. The only thing I can think of is that not Smash and Splash, that Summit would really kind of maybe hurt him because he was out at 4th, losing to Amsa and Mango, but those are both, in my opinion, top 10 players with somewhat respectable losses, and he did come back and beat Mango and just barely lost to Armada. So I feel like, in my opinion, Hungrybox is number one, and then number two, I'd put Plup. I feel like Plup has just lost to Hungrybox quite a bit, but that's like his only big consistent loss. He had a sort of rough summit, but he really did like prove that he was up there and deserved to be up there with his Genesis 5 win, his multiple sets over Hungrybox, and just in general taking second at tournaments and stuff like that. Next, I would put Armada. He has been doing pretty good this year. Second at Summit, first at Smash and Splash. The reason why he wouldn't be higher is because of his 5th placing at Genesis 5, and his inconsistency with Leffen, I feel. He did lose to Leffen in winners semis at Smash and Splash, so that's kind of like shaking the water for me, even though he did redeem it. He lost to him at Genesis 5, so I feel like that's a really, that's kind of putting him down a little bit, but not far enough to drop to 4, which I believe would be Leffen as of right now. Leffen has just had some pretty good, it's Leffen or Mewtwo King. I'm kind of debating between the two in my head. I don't really have a completely definitive, solid decision. I feel like Mewtwo King has the Summit win. He has attended quite a few events, whereas he has placed 3rd or 4th, which is like not too bad for Mewtwo King. The one thing I could see knocking him down to 5th place is his Genesis 5 performance of getting 9th. I feel like Genesis 5 was a real shakeup, and what people thought would happen, and so I feel like that is a pretty big chance that could knock Mewtwo King down a spot. Leffen just had a pretty solid year overall. In events he's attended, he's placed like 3rd, and those are some pretty big events with Smash and Splash. He placed 3rd at Genesis, I believe. That may have been someone else, but I'm pretty sure it was Leffen. And overall, Leffen has just been doing fairly good this year, taking sets off of Armada, and just kind of, he's up there. He's been doing pretty good. Then I'd put probably Mango. Mango has been doing fairly well, mainly looking at Full Bloom 4, he took 2nd. Looking at Summit, he got 7th, but before he got knocked out, he took a set off of Hungry Box, he took a set off of Armada, and he lost to Zane and Hungry Box, I believe. And those were his only losses the entire tournament. So overall, he has been doing pretty good in my opinion. I'll go ahead and just kind of speed this up a little bit more. Wizrobe has been doing fairly well. His 2 sets off of Hungry Box at Optic Arena, I feel like really did help him quite a bit in getting to this spot. He's also had some shaky tournament placings, but usually he's been doing fairly good at the tournaments he's attended. I feel like next up would be AMSA. I feel like AMSA has some really good wins and pretty respectable losses, and overall just like pretty good tournament placings. I'd say next up would have to be Axe. Axe has been doing fairly well this year. He's had quite a few good placements, mainly Gammel. He placed 3rd at, beating out Mewtwo King and a couple of other pretty good players before losing to Hungry Box. And I'd say then last is Zane. Zane has been doing, or 10th is Zane. Zane has been doing really good. His 3rd place Summit performance is good. Multiple top 8 placings. I feel like Zane is just up there. Sorry. That is about all I have to cover in this. I will say there will be more videos on the way. The podcast will probably go up Sunday next week just to accommodate for my schedule and working some things out. But yeah, look forward to that. I'm hoping to get one more video up between then. I hope you all enjoyed this. I'll try to leave my Twitter. Go follow that. I post some pretty neat things on there. And yeah, that's about it. And I hope you all keep listening. Bye.